Hi everybody, we're going to start with a series of videos to get you used to Training Tilt. And I have my wife's account we'll be using for today, and we're going to log in as you would when you create your account. And it should pop up would be your home screen. It has all kinds of different aspects you can look at: Instagram, Facebook, Strava from Dave's. And we're not going to really get into that today. We want to get right into the nuts and bolts of what you're going to be using here. So the first thing you probably want to do is go over to the top right into your account. I'm using a laptop because this is the easiest way to set it up. You really can't set up a lot of this with the app. The app's very, let's say, limited. So we're going to go into this and start setting up your account through a laptop or desktop computer. Okay, so we go into Sean's profile just to see how she's doing there, and we click on it, and what'll come up is some basic information here, and you can see that information all right here, and it can be edited by clicking on the edit tab and then going through and edit anything you need to edit. Not anything in particular here or really worrisome. So we move on. Your account is set up through Dave's, not through Training Tilt. So is your order history, so none of that applies to you. Training zones I already have for you, so you don't have to worry about that either. And then we go to user settings, okay? User settings are what's going to help you maybe if you want to change your password and other little issues like that. So if we look at first here, you would type in your existing password and you can change your password, because I set everybody up with just one, dummy password from Dave's, and then you can change your own and make it unique to you. Okay, unit preference, Imperial is what we'll use because Imperial is miles and yards, whereas, the guy that created this Training Tilt, his name's Cam, he's from New Zealand, so he uses metric, but we will stick with what we do in USA, which is yards and mileage. Okay, and then it also shows what Sean's connected with. She is using her Strava. He's not using Strava, but she's using her Garmin. But Garmin connects through Strava too, and since she has a Strava account, it just shows her Garmin through the Strava account. It's tricky, but all you need to know is this. You either connect to Training Tilt with your Garmin or with a Strava account. And there are troubleshooting ways to get through that, and we'll look at that in a second. But one or the other. You can't do both. Okay, you can see she's connected here, not over here. And those are the only two ways you can connect to Training Tilt. So if you have an Apple Watch, Fitbit, anything like that, you would connect it with Strava, and then you connect Strava to Training Tilt. Okay, so it's a two-step process in that case. I sent out an email to help with that, and I'll remind you where that information is at in a second. But you would want to make sure you're connected, and this is where you can check to make sure the connection is there. If not, let me know and we can work with that. Okay, that's the user settings. Now, if we go to notification settings, that's kind of important too for my aspect to help you out. Now, you don't want to get a bunch of emails, I get it, or a bunch of reminders. You can click off here what you don't want to receive, but what I would ask you to leave on is the first one, which says when my coach updates workout comments. So when I comment on something you do, you would get notified. Because sometimes I get to your workout a day or two later, look in on it, and then give you some feedback then. Or maybe you don't get a workout in on the day I'm in, so I look at it and see it later. You want to be notified when I make a comment. And when I add a note, same concept. Might add a note later, earlier, change something, you at least get notified by email. These other ones are not as important. There might be some discussion on Training Tilt on our forum, which we will get into later. That's up to you, okay? But otherwise, first one and last one, please make sure they are toggled on, because otherwise you will not know when I notify you. Okay, unless you get into Training Tilt and look for it. And lastly is the big one, the support page. Those are the links I was sending you earlier. They told you to sign up for Training Tilt and other things like that. You can find that on their support page, and you would go to this section for athletes and members. Okay, if I click on it, there's all kinds of things on here. Like I've already explained, metric and imperial measurements. Some I explain, others you might need to look at as you go through it. Okay. And this is definitely where you need to go if you're having trouble syncing your workouts to Training Tilt. All right. I'd rather, if you have to do it manually, that's fine. But, it's much easier if you can sync an account or something like that to it. And then the last thing that would be obviously signing out, logging in and logging out. If you ever forget your password, anything like that, you would just need to contact me and I can do that for you. Okay. Otherwise, that is our first video. And we will continue with more, and I will get into the calendar and other aspects of Training Tilt that will definitely help you out as you go through the program. All right, we will talk to you later.